What's up, dudes? My name is Nick. Welcome back for another music video reaction. In this one, we're taking a look at the song from 17 titled Thanks. And yeah, I don't really have anything as far as like to intro to kind of build up this video or whatever that I'm about to do. So we're just gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna do what I normally do with these videos here, and I'm gonna listen to this song. I'm gonna give you guys my honest first impression thoughts and opinions on it, whether I like it or not. So if that is something you're interested in hearing more of, as I cover other K-pop releases in the future, please do consider clicking on the subscribe button down below. So with all of that being said, that actually super short intro done and out of the way, let's get the song started. I like that. I like that they just kind of kicked it up, well, like a lot, and well, you bring in the whole, I guess, that bass kick drum to increase the intensity as they kind of build up to this. Okay. Strange that they would build up into that into that vocal portion, which it's like they were building up to something that was gonna like have a big impact, and then they didn't. Except for that. Which that was good. That was a good little build up. Although a little interesting bit to talk about that whole thing. We'll see if they do it again. Oh, okay, so they're gonna do it again. So like the biggest, most intense like build up drops into something that's like not really that intense, but then the small... No, they kind of changed it this time. So I was gonna say that the second build up after that's the least intense, builds up into the chorus, that kind of the moment that hits the hardest, but they might have changed it up around on me on the second time. I'm loving how like how dramatic this song is. How like it changes so much. It's definitely really entertaining and fun in that regard. Like I really enjoy this. This is good. That was really good. That's probably I would say, yeah, that is definitely I think my favorite song from 17 that I've actually made a reaction video for. Potentially even my favorite, you know, of all of the songs that they've ever, you know, released and made. But yeah, it's actually good. Like I think it's a pretty, at least for me personally, it's a pretty, it's a bigger improvement from, what was it? Was their most recent release Don't Wanna Cry? Like that they released, like, what is it, like actually just about a year ago now, I think, at this point. or 9 months or something like that. It's 10 months something. It's been just about a year, I think, since the last time they released something, unless I'm completely missing a release, which is absolutely possible that I'm not remembering something. But while I enjoyed that whole song and that whole album, we're talking about Don't Wanna Cry, because that's the thing that's in my mind right now. And I think that's really kind of the biggest sort of comparison that can be made, and kind of, I think it provides a good point to kind of like talk about in regards to this and why I like it so much, is that song and that album, while it's really good, it was a really good, exploration of a sound and a genre, it just wasn't really, for me at least, it wasn't really that entertaining. Like, it's one thing for, something to be, for a song to like not particularly be like super hyped up or anything like that. And, those songs that aren't hyped up can be very, very entertaining to listen to. I just don't think that those songs that they released on that album were necessarily the most entertaining songs that they've ever released. If we're being completely honest. And, of course, it was the, kind of the moment that kind of marked a relatively big shift in their style and their sound, I think, personally, unless I'm, again, completely, misremembering or forgetting something that came out in the prior to that. It kind of marked a relatively big change for them. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't want to say like it was the wrong move to make, because it wasn't. They did what they did. They made some success with it. They worked with some cool people. Everything worked out, and it was a relatively successful album for them, I think, as far as exploring something interesting and different for them, which I appreciate that a lot. I didn't necessarily like it a whole lot, but that's just down to my own personal preference for this song. And I'm gonna probably assume that this album as well. I definitely like the fact that it's still not a particularly like crazy hyped up sort of song, but I think that it's definitely a song that is way more interesting and way more fun to listen to than like Don't Wanna Cry or most of the songs off of that album. As I said during the music video, like I really do enjoy the like how dramatically it changes between it being something that's like I'm gonna say like quiet and loud versus meaning like loud being the super upbeat and like super intense parts like the chorus, and quiet being the parts like the verse or the little pre-chorus. Wouldn't it like be like a pre-chorus? I guess the pre-chorus, that first build up into the pre-chorus, and you get another build up into the chorus, and those parts and the changes and all of that stuff that goes on in to varying degrees, that kind of gives a feeling of like intensity, and like impact that's stronger or not as strong as a song progresses, is definitely very interesting. Like they kind of change it up a lot, and it's not necessarily like that first buildup is very, very intense, but it's not like as loud or impactful as during the chorus. And the chorus is also very, very intense in comparison to other parts of the song. So you've got two parts that are pretty intense, but they feel different, they sound different, and it's that gives it a kind of a very interesting sort of vibe. And then you combine that, I should say, with the low intensity parts that are definitely more about I guess being a little emotional and being nuanced and kind of just letting, I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say, but the lower points in the song, and I mean lower points like in lower intensity, and they're also presented in different ways, which gives the song a different feel. So the song is something that's like always changing, at least in the context of going from verse to chorus. Now every verse and chorus is pretty much the same when it comes to the music, but that doesn't mean that entire flow between the first set of the first verse and then the first chorus, and it does play really nicely into the second verse and then the second chorus. Everything flows really nicely, and of course it all changes and it just creates a really interesting sort of experience where it's not the most crazy, it's not an overpowering K-pop song like what tends to happen, where like the music track is on an equal level with the vocals, where they're both competing for your attention. And I think, it's something that they play really, really nicely together, and it's a really nicely balanced song in that regard too. I think that the composition of both the music and the writing of the lyrics was actually, you know, really, really well thought out and arranged to make both of them work together, as opposed to basically them being completely separately, you know, written, and they're not really working together. There's just like, got the music track with the vocals on top of it, which is what a lot of K-pop songs are, right? And there's really just in general, pop songs in general, or, you know, seem like that. Like there is no actual thought to how the vocals necessarily are going to fit within the music track, but this one actually put a lot of thought into it. Probably like that both of the portions of the song and all that stuff were written, or they spent a lot of time at the very least to, you know, come up with the music track and then write the vocals, and then, you know, spend a lot of time after the fact tweaking and changing and adjusting things to make things fit like seamlessly. And, you know, that's what I got. So it's a really good song. Like I said, it's fantastic. If I can talk about a song like this for probably a good 6 or 7 minutes, and all I've got is, you know, pretty much praise for it and all that stuff, I think that's a pretty damn good thing. So, you know, like I said, I love the fact that I guess how dynamic this song is in the sense that it's changing from being something that's low intensity to high intensity, and you've got different ways that intensity or lack of intensity is kind of presented and, you know, and shown within the music and the vocals. And of course, the vocals work really, really well with the music track, which is something that pretty frequently is not really, you know, thought that deeply of with a lot of K-pop songs, I think. So that's all I got to say about this song, and well, not the music video because I don't talk about the music videos, but I want to know what you guys think about it. So let me know your thoughts and all that stuff down in the comment box below. Do not be afraid to share your opinions, no matter what they are. Even if you do not like this song, that is perfectly fine. I'm interested in hearing what you've got to say. And I'm sure that there are other members of the community that would like to hear it as well. So if you want to join this community, we're all about having some free, open, and of course friendly discussion about our thoughts and opinions, no matter what they are. Please do consider clicking on the subscribe button down below. And if you want to stay updated with everything that I'm doing in the future, then please do click on the bell icon so you can turn notifications on so you don't miss a single video in the future. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all next time.